Oh, the crap, man.
Excuse you.
Yeah, I don't always have problems with gas, but when I
What do you
do,
do? It's live on the internet.
it's live and noisy.
So you got to play the mixer guy tonight,
Okay.
and you got to play the intro and outro music, which I need to come stick my fingerprint on there.
Okay.
Passwords.
Oh yeah, you don't want to say it live. That's a
Say
good
it for the
point.
internet. Let's broadcast it over the entire internet.
No capitals. Or no, there's. I think it's just no capitals.
Okay.
That's the only. It's.
What about the first one?
I don't think the first one's capitalized either. There's no capitals on that.
What was the number again? Okay. No.
Capital U.
They captured that. Nice.
What is this, Dustin?
That's okay.
What's that?
What's that noise?
All right.
There's a video of that.
Okay. So.
We're off to a grand start here with the first video being a.
Hey, you know, it's all good.
But why don't we have?
I want to make that my ringtone.
We'll
Yeah.
have to edit it.
You're gonna have to go downstairs, I think, because you're gonna laugh.
I don't have to do much with the mixing once the levels are right.
I think we're all good. Yeah.
You think the levels are good?
Yeah. Let's just do a quick mic check, real quick, and then we can see.
Okay.
You can't have that playing. Here, let's stop this again.
Do 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 do. Do do.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I seem a little hot, and Scott seems a little not.
So just adjust your primary.
Well, which am I?
You're the third one.
Your name.
Oh, okay. So there we go.
Not that one.
Not this
Not
one.
That one. The very bottom one.
The very bottom. No.
This one.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want to turn it this way to turn me down a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, and I turn Scott up a little bit. All right, try it again.
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Maybe you're not talking close enough to your mic.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It does change it.
So
How close do you want to be, though?
I don't want to be that close.
Okay, well, I got to turn you way up. Try that.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
You're not recording.
I know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to... Okay, Dustin and I have got to come down if you're going to talk that far away from the mic.
You can talk. We're not like just yet.
Well, it says right now you are. Oh, you just gotta.
Who dat?
You have too much of your heads. Like there's too much dead space.
Yo,
in there.
what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
You guys are live right now.
Like it needs to come down. I know we are live. Like it needs to come down. A little bit.
Matthew
How does it look on the
Nordgren.
screen?
I can't ask anything if I don't
Screen's
have a
not up.
YouTube channel.
Screen's not up, Dustin. It's not up.
Just look on
Why does it do that?
regularguysrandomthings.com.
Go
On
to your
YouTube.
Facebook
On
or
YouTube.
something.
Well, Ethan
No,
pulled it up
yeah.
on YouTube, but it won't let you do a comment unless you have a YouTube. It says you have to have a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Matt.
that's true.
Matthew says.
So you just go into your settings and you
something with the
say
units
create
off.
channel even if you don't have anything on it. It's
Do I-
stupid.
Do I have to
Mm.
give any information or anything? Okay.
You just have to toggle that switch.
Well, I have one.
You have a chat? I can show me cheap. Do you guys need anything? You guys want
Why don't you go
water or
downstairs and watch?
Can I notify you guys when
Y'all,
someone says
do you need
something?
any water or anything, or
No.
drinks or food or? Oh wow,
I'm good.
restrooms at the bottom of the stairs.
Will you close the door, please?
Yes. Dad, should I tell you when someone says something?
Sure.
Oh, Matthew's pumped for this.
That cut me all the way.
That's
Yeah,
fun.
pretty much.
How's How's that on, John?
A little more.
Um,
There you go. That's good.
so it's a little not live, but okay.
What's that?
It's a little not live, but that's okay.
Oh, it's live. We're on YouTube live right now.
But it's got delay.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 We're gonna have delay, but the stream's good. Okay.
We
So,
ready?
Let me get the regular audio podcast. So you see intro and outro on that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. All right.
Are we happy with our levels though?
I think we're
I
okay
think
with the
we're okay.
levels. Scott may have to make love to the mic.
He doesn't want to.
You know, then you can't see me, my handsome face on the internet.
All right.
Welcome to the Regular Guys Random Things Weekly Podcast. Thanks again for listening to these regular guys talk about the most random things. So sit back and relax while they get started.
Well, here we are, everyone. You've been watching us get ready for this for a little while, but we are finally live on the internet. Regular Guys Random Things, first annual, or maybe we'll do it a little more often. I don't know. Our first attempt at doing this live on the internet. I'm your host, Scott. I'm here with John,
Yo, what's up?
Dustin.
Hey guys.
How is everybody out there in internet land?
Well, we have a couple of listeners. We've already got people logged on.
Nice.
Looks like we have Ethan and we have Matt Norgren, one of our good buddies.
Very nice. So we want to kind of make this a little as interactive as possible. So if you want to interact with us in any way, just feel free to put something in the chat, and we'll try and get to it and answer any questions you might have. Well, not any question. We got to be careful there.
I can't be distracted by my phone when we do this.
I know you can't.
It's kind of
You're
weird.
gonna have to like actually pay attention to
Like
the whole thing.
straight up full on.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get going. Let's start off with our usual around the table. What did you do this week? Do you want to go first this time?
No.
No. All right, Dustin, you're up.
I'm typing on the keyboard. You got to give me a second. Let's see. What did I spent some time up at girls' camp. My
You're
wife.
not a girl.
I know, but I was one of the adult male leaders that helps make sure that the young women get what they need while they're there. And
Did they need anything?
I just dump stuff. I hauled garbage to the dumpster and a couple other things.
Glorified garbage man.
Glorified garbage man. And I had my follow-up with my eye doctor, and so I got a plan for my eye and got a couple other things going in the works. And I don't know. Other than that, I've just been kind of bumming around. Girls' camp thing was probably my biggest thing that happened over the weekend. I was there last week.
What do girls do at girls' camp?
They played in the river. They made crafts. They made their craft was actually marshmallow guns. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah. PVC pipe.
Yep. So they made marshmallow guns, and then they had marshmallow wars. I don't know. They do girly things. I don't know.
Nice.
So, yeah, it was fun. Good time.
Okay, you're up.
We did end up leasing a Highlander.
I thought you already did that.
Did I already say that on the podcast?
Fake news. Yeah,
It's
I
not
think you've already
fake.
done it.
It just might be old.
I think you talked about it to your last.
Oh,
Last
okay. Well,
podcast.
dang. Okay. Well, it can't. It's like not a week old. It's barely a week old. Maybe I did. I don't know.
You did. What else?
I don't think I did. I
Okay.
think it's not news. It's news to you, not to the podcast. But anyway, okay. I also did stuff.
He did some stuff.
Uh,
Was it fun stuff?
It was
or
mostly
boring
fun.
stuff.
I think that I was kind of getting a little bit sick. Something seems to be going around,
You
and
know
so I
what?
kind of hunkered down.
I have been feeling horrible this week, and I
Yeah.
have not been able to concentrate. And I finally
Yeah.
figured out I think it's probably the air.
Oh,
Yeah.
the smoke in the air is disgusting, and
The air is horrible, and I've had headaches. And
my nose is super clogged, and
We got
That's
a
really
we got
bad.
a comment in the chat that says the Highlander is old news.
oh, there you go. Straight from the internet, John.
who said it though?
Matt.
Matt said it?
He's
Damn.
a viable source.
All
Yeah,
right,
because he listens to everything.
all right, Matt, I'll trust you. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, so I didn't go out much. Oh, we did buy all the Harry Potter minifigs.
You got them?
Yeah,
The Lego ones?
yeah, we're missing 2.
Did you go to the store and fill bags individually one by one until you had the whole collection?
Yeah, and we found out they won't let you buy more than the number that are in the series right now
Who
because
won't?
they're so hot. Lego.
Oh, you went to the Lego store?
Yeah, because we went to the Lego store like on August 1st.
And they
or
let you fill
something.
the bags right in the store?
Oh, we touched those. Actually, Elizabeth touched those bags. Good. She
Holly-
felt them for like 2 hours. and-
Holly is an expert at that. She can pick out when she's doing that. She is
the slightest detail.
so good at figuring out. Oh, she'll just
How does she have so
touch
much
it for a
experience
second.
with that?
what?
How does she get so much experience with that?
Because we've got every single one since 3, I think.
Wow, that's actually more than me. That's pretty cool. So yeah,
Well,
so
can't
let-
each person in your family buy a set of minifigs? Like, it's not just, is it like one set per family?
No, I mean, if I was there, they wouldn't have known that we were another family, but they do try to limit you buying the store, you know.
Those Harry Potter minifigs are pretty cool.
Yeah, so she got Voldemort, and she got Hermione, and the crew. I don't remember who she's missing. But that was fun. And we opened those up the other day, and
Did you see the Voltron Lego?
I have the Voltron Lego.
You have it already?
I do. I ordered it.
Did you
the
put it
day
together?
could. No, it's in a box.
Are you ever going to take it out of the
I
box and put
don't
it together?
know. I don't know. I think that I should because that one would just be cool to play with.
I loved Voltron as a kid. It was one of my favorite cartoons, and I think I'm definitely going to have to get the Voltron Lego and probably even open it.
It's not too expensive.
Looks like you've already got the go-ahead. Looks like Holly commented that you needed it for your Halloween village.
Oh, very nice.
Green light go,
Oh,
Scott.
yeah, I knew I'd have the green light for the minifigs like as soon as they come out. So.
Oh, she greenlit you for Harry Potter, not for
Yeah,
Voltron?
no, not for Voltron yet.
Nuts.
Well, Voltron will go good with Halloween, won't it?
A giant robot made out of lions? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's so Halloween.
Yeah, very good. Well, that's cool. Good for you.
How do I,
I need to
send
find
this? How do I send this link to this chat to? Oh, I found it. Maybe I can get us another viewer.
Wow, we need another viewer.
Yeah,
Who are you going to send it to?
Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
Hey, can you turn my mic volume up just a tad bit?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
I'm a little bit low.
The wife gets a bunch of Harry Potter minifigs.
Your wife does?
Yeah, she asked what she got if I got Voltron.
Oh yeah, that's true, and they are similarly priced because there are
22.
a lot. Yeah, 22 times 4.
Usually there's only 16, but I think
Oh,
this
you-
has 6 extra figures in it.
So it costs you 80 or almost $100 to get minifigs?
They're $4 each
Oh, wow.
for these series specific ones, but they do a very good job on them. The detail on the prints, they do a lot of original prints and detail work that they don't normally do on like a set fig, you know.
And so you bought 2 sets so that you can
No.
put one away and retire off of it, right?
No. They
You should, though.
You should, especially Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry
Like, there
Potter's
are-
going to be big.
There are a few series that you can buy that will have long-term appeal. There are also some that nobody cares about. But anyway, so I did that, and you're welcome for me remembering.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So now we have to go out and find those somewhere. I would have thought that they'd be a little more hesitant to let you play with the bags at the Lego store.
Dude, they don't care who touches those bags. Like, they're like, please touch our bags.
So we got a question here.
Okay.
And I think we've hashed this before. It was when you did the show with Daniel. But Matt asked, do Legos hold their value over time?
Absolutely.
Who
they
asked
do.
this?
They are. They're better than gold.
They are a
I'll link
better
to the article.
investment than gold. Yes.
If you can
withstand playing with them, right?
It's proven by
If you can
science.
and if
withstand playing
you've
with
got the storage space,
if you got the storage space and you got the time to try and sell them and everything, but yeah, they definitely hold their values, especially Star Wars,
and increase in value, you say.
very much.
If you don't buy the wrong ones.
So
I
yeah,
bought-
you got to buy
I
the right
bought
sets,
Lego,
right?
Yeah, I bought Lego Chima, and those didn't sell well when they weren't retired, and they're not going to sell well after they're retired. But
Even those probably won't lose value.
sure, and ultimately, if the set does lose value, what you do is you sell them by the pound, and their by the pound value is fairly good too.
Yeah, by the pound value. I've looked at stuff by the pound
Yeah.
in the past. I
So-
haven't recently, but
So sometimes you can get a better. I mean, if the set sells for $5 on eBay, let's say, but by the pound it sells for 25. It's like, okay, I won't advertise it as the set then.
Right.
It's funny how that is.
Sell it for a pound.
But they do hold their value really well. Star Wars is a no-brainer. Harry Potter is a no-brainer. And there are a couple others that are really good that hold their value over time. So modular builds like before they reintroduced the Taj Mahal, that thing went for like $8,000.
Really?
But then they reintroduced it for like $400.
Can you imagine? I just bought it on eBay today for $8,000, and tomorrow,
Oh,
and tomorrow they re-release it, and the value
Phone
drops
ring.
yeah. That
to
would
like $10. or
that would
something.
be kind of like your worst nightmare.
That would be pretty bad.
But they don't do that very often. They don't re-release sets very often. The Taj Mahal was retired, I think, 10 years ago. So that's a pretty. Elizabeth commented direct message to me instead of in the YouTube
instead of the
chat that also Disney will hold their value very well. If you get the Tangled stuff or the Frozen stuff, Little Mermaid, all that stuff will be valuable later. So
Very good.
So Scott,
What?
what'd you do this week?
What did I do this week? So Ethan had another soccer tournament this week, and he hurt his hamstring, so he was unable to play, unfortunately for him.
oh,
He missed 2 games, so he's really bummed about that. He has to be out for a couple weeks. Let's see what else. We went to the soccer game, RSL game, Saturday night. That was fun. They actually won, and they had fireworks after. That was exciting. Brody got a new bike. Shout out to Brody, who is getting very good at riding his bike now. What else? Anything else? What are you doing on your phone,
wait, who got a new bike?
Brody?
Very nice. Is it a pedal bike?
Yes. Pedal
Is-
bike.
Is it too big or just right?
Just right.
Very nice.
So he's gaining confidence every day. So good job, Brody. It looks like you have to do a shout out too. I did my shout out to Brody, but
You think I have to?
yes.
Oh.
Jonah's
Jonah
waiting for
and Brody are so cool.
the coolest kids in town.
And Addie and Elizabeth and Holly and Matt and everyone else. They're so cool. To answer Ethan's question, though,
What is this question?
Harry Potter, what's your favorite fig?
Because eventually someone might only listen to this, so we have to actually.
I think you
Ask
actually get
the
to see the
question.
chat when you watch it on YouTube.
You can.
I think
But if
the
we
chat
just
archives.
post the audio, right?
Well, the video will be available forever.
As well, yeah.
So it'll be on our YouTube channel forever. So if they ever want to go back and watch episode 27,
Of course.
it'll be
Who
here.
wouldn't want to watch it like 6 or 7 times?
I know. Like,
but to this point, though, maybe they don't scroll through a million comments or something while they're listening.
that's true.
So,
The
Ethan,
question is,
yeah.
what is your favorite Harry Potter character?
character or specifically Lego minifig from the series?
I think Harry Potter character is the specific quote from the question. So let's go with that.
That's true. Okay. Well, first we need. Did we go around the room with what everyone did?
Yeah, Scott
okay,
finished
so
up.
we're okay to.
Yeah,
we're-
sure.
Very
Okay.
good.
I finished up.
So I would say. You have to come back to me. I'm not ready.
All right. What about yours? Who's your favorite?
This is really embarrassing for me. at
Why?
this point.
He's never seen
So-
Harry Potter.
So here's the thing: is when Harry Potter came out, I didn't have kids. I didn't read the book. We watched the first movie, and we both fell asleep, and we never revisited it. So I've actually never seen the Harry Potter movies. My kids have all watched them, and I've said, but I haven't. I've never watched them. I've never read the books. So
So while
suck.
while you've got eye herpes, you should watch them. They're a good watch.
I can't see. I'm a pirate. I can't see out of this eye.
Just watch it
Read the-
one-eyed.
Read the books, though. The books are much better.
Are you a reader?
I
Listen to the books.
I like to do audio, and I like to read too. It's just hard to find time to read.
Yeah. Well, you could
know, so
audiobook it.
I audiobook like crazy, so
Yeah.
maybe that's what I ought to do.
Yeah. Plus,
should.
Elizabeth's like, the movies suck. Books all the way. Books master race.
The books are actually the Audible books. I actually listen to them, and the guy who does the books does a really good job too. If it's I assume they only have one version of the audiobook, but it's really good. So
I did say Harry Potter, Ethan. Haha, funny.
So hold on. There's the not a question but a statement
well,
in
did
the
we ever answer the other question that we started out with?
which is our favorite
Yes,
character.
you never told me.
No, but it says right here that John isn't prepared, and that is not true. I'm always prepared. I was born prepared. Anyway, moving on to the.
Where does it say
It
that?
says it right there.
That was like the first comment.
I have to say that I think that I really like Snape's character, and
That's what I was gonna say.
yeah, I know. He's pretty misunderstood, and he has a valiant heart, and he kind of got the short end of the stick.
He kind of did, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was kind of in it for the long haul, knowing that he was gonna kind of get hosed at the end, but he
Yeah.
did it anyway.
Yep. And I respect him for that. And I had to watch them all the way through a couple of times before I got the complexity of the plot. You know, if you just watch
Have
it
you read the
face-
books?
No. But Elizabeth has.
You should read them too.
Yeah. I'll get right on that. So
So by next week,
Yeah, by next week they'll be done. So I do really like Snape. I don't know if he's my favorite character, but he does stand out, probably top 2 or top 3. They do a good job of actually helping you like many characters. It's hard
There are
for
a lot
me
of
to
good
say
ones.
which one I like the best.
my favorite is Neville Longbottom
Why? He's such
because his name's Longbottom.
Okay. He does like pull out some courage in the very end.
He
of
starts
the
out as
story.
this really,
cowardly, lame.
really lame guy, and at the end, he's like
He does step it up.
he comes out strong at the end.
true.
So
It's true. I won't disagree with you there. He's not a bad.
I
pick.
like the whole zero to hero storyline that Neville has. you
Why
know?
is that? dude? Why?
I just appreciate the underdog who comes through in the end and pulls through.
That's
I
it.
really enjoy that. So I do like Neville. All right. Any more questions?
Oh, yep, Matthew.
Do you like it when the reader does different voices or just one voice for
And this would
everything?
have to be the Audible book.
The guy who does the Harry Potters does different voices, and he does very good at it. And I do like that, so you can kind of identify
I
who
like
is
it too.
speaking. So,
I like the change.
but
I-
some of them are really bad at it.
Ah.
They have to be good at it, and if they're not good at it, it just sounds horrible. So I guess it depends on the reader who's reading it.
And I think that's probably why he's asking is that, and I've heard several that aren't good at it, and it just feels really.
I've
kinda
stopped a
poorly
couple of
done.
audiobooks and got a refund because I couldn't stand to listen to the person
Yeah.
talking.
Right.
So
But the Harry Potter ones that I listened to were excellent.
Yeah.
So
all right,
give
I'll,
that a shot.
I'll give it a shot. I actually just finished a whole book series that I was listening to, so I'm looking for something new to read.
What
so.
are you listening to?
I was listening to
Touched by an Angel.
no. So there was an audiobook series called The Gender Game, and it was a 7-book series. And then inside of the Gender Game, there was. It was kind of funny when I listened to the book. I actually read some of the books and then I listened to some of the books, but it was a funny part in the book where they kind of just made this kind of tangent off to this other kind of storyline that didn't really lead anywhere. And then at the end of that series, they introduced you to this new book. And so The second book or the second series was The Girl Who Dares to Think, and it's a story of post-apocalyptic where they've built this self-contained tower, and it's like 300 stories tall, and they don't go outside because they think the world is radioactive. And so it's this story of, and the whole tower is run by an AI, and this AI is being manipulated by bad people in the tower. And so it's this whole story of this
Rasputin.
post-apocalyptic type thing, and it was cool.
Matt says that the guy that reads the work in the glory sucks at it. But I wouldn't know on that one, Matt.
Hey, why we're talking about Matt, speaking of Matt, the guy who finished his smoker before you.
I know, isn't that sad?
I know, he did a pretty good job at it. Put a nice big
Good
ute.
job, Matt.
Here's the ute shout out. He did
Way to
big
finish
utes
your
on the
smoker.
side.
How do you do a ute thing on the side? Doesn't the heat melt the paint or whatever? Or did you do some kind of like metal stain or something?
He used some looked like high temp paint and did red and black. Looks pretty
Engine
good.
paint.
Yeah.
You can buy it at the auto store.
And I think he smoked his first pork butt on it this weekend. So I haven't talked to him to see how it turned out. He sent me a couple of texts back and forth, but I never actually asked him how his final product turned out.
All right, so this is for
Thanks,
you.
honey. I would love to have a smoker too.
How
Eventually, we'll get one.
funny. Yeah. Well, she does. She wants a food smoker, not a husband smoker.
Correct.
Yeah.
She does want a food smoker.
Not a
To
smoking
smoke
hot
food
husband.
on.
Scott's like, I'm gonna pick that up
she
tomorrow.
already blew that one.
All right, so
Looks like he said it's tasty.
So Matthew and Scott, and maybe even Dustin, I have watched videos on YouTube how to use like a DC battery clipped to metal and some like I can't remember the substance, vinegar or something, and you brush it on and it eats away at the metal. It interacts with the metal and like it dissolves it or something crazy, and that's how you can like brand
like
or
etch something.
yeah.
Oh, like yeah.
Yeah.
They do
So-
that with an acid. Oh, so maybe that's the vinegar. I know there's
something like that.
there's some type of acid. You put it in a spray bottle and you spray the metal,
Yeah.
and then you rub it off, and it starts to oxidize it and rust it, and then you stop that process, and then you cover it with a clear coat, and it actually makes a really cool rust. Like a lot of the hot rod guys do the same thing. So maybe that's the same kind
Well,
of
I
thing.
saw a guy do it to a wrench. He branded his wrench. The YouTube channel is Chris Fix. I like his stuff. But he put his logo, his YouTube logo, on all of his tools or on several of them that were metal.
Huh.
And he explains how to do it and what the materials that you will need are. I don't know how it'll work on a huge piece of metal like a drum smoker is, but certainly for the smaller stuff it worked great. And make sure that if you do try it, that you follow all the safety rules, because I'd hate to have somebody electrocute themselves.
Electrocuted and eaten by acid.
Yeah.
So Matt says etching takes a lot of practice to look good, and using stencil works well.
Yeah. Yeah, stencil's
Whoa.
cool.
Ethan's getting all philosophical and deep on us now. He wants to know, if we could go back in time and tell your 10-year-old self one thing, what would it be? John.
Ride hard. Bicycles, Scott.
Okay.
Bicycles.
What else were you talking about? I thought you were talking about motorcycles, actually.
No,
but-
bicycles.
Okay. Bicycles. You?
Are you going to me? So I'm
Yeah.
about to take a drink. I'd go back and tell myself not to open up any of my Lego sets and just put them on the shelf and look at them.
Good call.
Totally.
I'd be
Yep.
rich.
Biff moment right there.
I'd buy Cisco stock and Apple stock and Microsoft
Right.
stock and Netflix stock, and then I would
Absolutely.
buy Bitcoin when it was at 63 cents and sell at
10,000.
20,000.
Yeah.
There you go.
All very good
I'd be
advice.
rich.
That sounds like good advice.
And ride hard.
Buy Google. Buy Apple.
And I would
The
give
end.
myself 10 winning lottery numbers to use. It's like the whole Biff, and whoever wins all of this the Super Bowls.
But you can't change the future. We already decided that.
Well, that's perfect.
Well, what's the point of going back and telling your 10-year-old self then?
Only one thing, Dustin.
Oh wow. He's dropping the hammer.
Buy Bitcoin at 63 cents and sell it at 20,000.
No, I would do buy Microsoft, because If you buy Microsoft, that was like 20 years ago, right? You'd have to wait till 2017 to do Bitcoin. You could do Microsoft like in 1980.
True.
You
could have done
invested all
Cisco
that
stock
money.
too.
Yeah.
What would you tell yourself, Scott?
I would tell myself to
Brush your teeth. Sorry. It's a quote from a movie.
take more chances.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
I was kind of a timid kid, so
Me too. I got made fun
a
of a
little
lot.
shy.
Kiss more girls.
I wasn't.
Kiss more girls. That's a good one right
Hot
there.
dog. Holly's,
Except not you, Ethan.
Holly's
you can't
like,
do that.
what?
He's over there. So Ethan, I guess we should probably let the cat out of the bag that he's in the room,
He is in the room.
and he's supposed to be monitoring our.
He didn't make it on camera.
No, he
buddy.
did.
He did.
It just won't show up for a minute.
There's a lag. Yeah, he's monitoring our chat, but he's adding more to the chat than he is monitoring it. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
That's
Very good. Thanks. All right. I am so lost now. What are we talking about?
Well, we were answering questions.
Oh, is there any more questions to answer, or are we
I
just
don't-
going to go on with...
I think we're live in the chat, but I think we should just go into our topic, and then if they want to ask questions in the topic, we can.
Okay. What is our topic?
Weren't we going to talk about ghosts?
Oh, yeah,
And
ghosts.
not extraterrestrial, but the superpower,
Supernatural.
What is it? Supernatural.
At least we can talk about something this time that actually happened and exists,
Yeah.
which makes me
John, do you
happy.
have any experience with ghosts?
Yeah, I do.
What?
So,
Cutting holes in sheets and putting it over your sister's head doesn't count either.
So when I was really little, my cousin would sit us down in her room, sometimes on her bed, and all the lights were off, and she would shine the light on her face and tell us ghost stories.
Did you like that?
It was scary.
Do you like being scared?
Not really.
Not really.
It's okay.
Do you like being scared, Dustin?
I don't really get scared. I mean,
don't?
I get like when someone jumps out from behind the corner and scares me, but
that's
like
yeah, jump scare. But you don't
Didn't-
ever get creep where your
No.
hairs on your arm stand up and you get that little tingle on the back of your neck or anything like that, and you think, "Well, that's creepy."
no, I really don't.
Do you
No,
watch scary movies
Yeah, I mean,
and they don't scare you?
no. I
Do you
don't
like
get- I don't-
so? I love it. I love being scared. I think it's fantastic. I love that little adrenaline rush that you get, and the arm hairs stand up, and the
So
back of the
give
neck.
me an example of you
tingles and-
getting scared.
Oh,
So, it's not really a scared. There was on one episode of one of those ghost hunter shows where they were just kind of in this room and it was creepy, and all of a sudden you see this thing go across the thing, and it was creepy, and it just made my arm hair stand up, and I thought, wow, that's cool. But I would love to go to a haunted house. One of these ghost hunter things, and sit there and do EVPs and talk to ghosts and get the crap scared out of me, and have someone rolling balls across the hallway to freak me out. And
So I guess I could think of one time in my life when I was really scared of something. And my aunt and uncle lived in Magna, but it wasn't like proper Magna where all the houses were. They kind of lived like on the outskirts of Magna, which was kind of like farmland. And they built this house in this horse pasture, and they had all this horse pasture around them. And there was this house across the street, and this house was abandoned. But in front of the house was these great big giant shrubs, like 15 feet tall shrubs. And so you couldn't see the house like a clear view. There was no place you could these shrubs had been planted to cover the entire front of the house. So the house had been abandoned for quite a bit. And so I'm probably junior high, like early junior high, maybe late elementary school. And I used to spend the night at his house, and we would sneak out and we would go over there in the middle of the night. And there really wasn't anything scary about the house. There was just like weird stuff, like stuff that had kind of been left behind, a lot of papers everywhere. All of the windows were gone, and they weren't broke out. Like, they were missing from the house. Somebody came in and took all the windows out.
They must have had a good R rating.
And all of the like toilets, sinks, all of that kind of stuff was gone. And there was kind of like freaky wallpaper on the wall. And I think maybe like going over there, we kind of freaked ourselves out. But it was just kind of a freaky house. But I can't think of any other time other than, I think one other time. My great-grandma lived down in Orangeville, and she had this cool house that had an attic in it, and there was a couple of bedrooms upstairs in the attic. And she had this freaky doll that has, you know, the ones where you used to lay him up and the eyes would open, and you lay him down, the eyes would close.
Yeah.
That was pretty creepy. But other than that, I can't think of any other time I've been, like, freaked out.
You?
I mean, nothing. No.
Nothing?
Uh-uh.
So there was one time when me and my friends were in high school, and we had, I can't remember what, we just watched or done something about ghosts or watched a scary movie. I can't remember, but we were in the mood to freak ourselves out. And so growing up, I lived fairly close to the mountain. It was basically just across the street, 100 yards from my house, and I was on the mountain, and we used to go up there a lot. But this was in the middle of the night. One time we went up to their thing, and there's this little clearing, completely surrounded by trees, and we're in this clearing, and all of a sudden we start hearing branches snap.
Oh yeah, you saw Sasquatch, not a ghost, bro.
I know, but if we were totally freaking ourselves out, we were all scared, and I can feel the arm hairs on my tingling a little bit right now. Just thinking about it, and you hear these crackles, and then we'd hear a crackle on the other side, and it was probably one of the freakiest, coolest, scariest things I've ever had.
It was probably you being stalked by a mountain lion.
It probably was, or a pack of wolves.
Yeah.
Because there was seriously something on this side and on the other side of us. There was two things cromping through the woods. And it's not like these woods are super dense where you can't see stuff, but we could not see anything at all. But it was kind of cool, and we really freaked ourselves out. That was fun.
So, did you guys ever watch Blair Witch Project?
No, I never watched Blair Witch Project.
So that was kind of a...
Was it scary to you?
So if I want to say one movie that was kind of freaky weird to me, would be that movie, because that person is running around in a forest, and most of the time it's dark, and they're holding a single video camera, and it's kind of a little bit freaky. Because I spend a lot of time hunting, and so I get into some backwoods kind of crazy stuff. And I thought about when you're talking about that. Last year I was on the deer hunt, and I was in this just way back. I'd hiked all day to get to this back set of pines, and I was walking through this set of pines, and I was kind of coming down the hill, and all of a sudden I kind of saw something moving. And so I stopped, thinking it might be a deer, and I put up my binoculars.
You saw Sasquatch too?
No, there's a guy sitting in the forest, and he's just kind of sitting there, and he's kind of weird. And I'm watching.
Was he dressed all in like leaves and stuff?
He was in camo. We were all in camo. So I watch him kind of walk back and forth, and I'm like, he doesn't know I'm here, but he's acting kind of weird. And so I'm like, I don't know if I want to like go down and say hi. So what I did is I kind of snuck around, and then I outside of the pines, and then I came back. So here I'm the creeper, right? So I'm the guy that they should be scared about. And so I come back into the pines, and there's 3 guys, and I couldn't see what they were doing, but they were all kind of acting a little bit weird.
Were they burying a body?
No.
Gross.
So they're all 3 in, but they don't have any guns or anything. And that's kind of weird. At least everybody who's hunting has a muzzleloader rifle walking around. So I go back up, and I circle around again back to where I originally started, and I was over top, and I get down, I look in, and it's just a bloody mess, right? So I sit there and look for a minute, and then what I realize is it's an elk. So they've got this elk, and they're quartering it out. So it's like there's the skin's done, the body's all done.
Are you sure it was an elk?
It was.
Hello,
So I just kind of sat there and watched them. They had no clue I was there. So I watched them for like 20, 30 minutes. And I kept thinking to myself, these guys are poaching this elk like it's in the middle of the deer hunt.
Why didn't you video it?
So I didn't have my phone with me. So I watched these guys, and then they packed up this elk, and then they took off. And so I was like, So I'm like, I just kind of want to stay back. I don't want them to see me. I don't want, And so they hiked out, and I get down there, and they shot this big bull elk. And, what was left of the carcass after they had kind of stripped all the meat and everything off, just left the bones, was there. And so I finished my hunt, and I went through my day. They never knew I was there, so I could have been that creeper guy, But it was a little bit creepy, a little bit offsetting. And when I got back down, I talked to my buddy Kyle. He's like, "Oh, there's a special elk hunt happening right now. It's a limited entry elk hunt for bull elk." So that's what they were doing.
So they weren't poaching?
No, so
But you thought they were?
So the next day we hiked up in that same area, and I hiked in, and I showed Kyle what was left. Like, the animals had pretty much just picked this thing clean, and it was taken away. But that was a little bit creepy because, like, is there a bear like lurching in the forest? But later that day, the second day, we'd actually found out. We talked to one of these guys, and he kind of told us the whole story, but I never told him that I was like creeping
up on him
in the forest behind him, and
staring
they never
at
knew I
him.
was there. But that was kind of unsettling. I mean, that kind of scared me a little bit. But it's not ghosts or supernatural or anything.
So I didn't have a ghost story, but I did have a scare story where, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 years ago, 12, 13, 14, something like that. I went to the haunted forest in Lehigh. And the first bit of it was kind of boring. And so I got all hyped up. Not on Mountain Dew, just,
Scaring yourself.
I just
freaking yourself out.
I don't even know if you can freak yourself out, but I was
You
basically
can, totally. If you
I was just
try hard
dramatizing everything, and that made it so much more fun.
enough. It's really cool when you freak yourself out. So
I
we used to.
mean-
Did you ever go to haunted houses as a
No.
teenager or anything?
I went to a few of them.
We used to love to go to haunted houses. We went to them all the time.
I mean, I wasn't ever really scared, though. I mean,
No, you're not really scared. So the reason we used to go to haunted houses is because if you get in line right after some cute girls,
Yeah.
the cute girls get scared, and then what do? Yeah.
Do they
So-
literally like grab your arm if they don't even know you?
Yes, absolutely they do.
Fascinating.
So the haunted forest in Lehigh, they used to
There's a
have
tip for you, 10-year-old self.
Haunted houses.
They had this section in that haunted forest in the Lehigh Haunted Forest, and it was kind of it was like a haystack, and there was like a little tunnel that kind of went back in there, and they would lead you down this tunnel, and so you'd be with somebody, or girl or somebody, and they would kind of be like grabbing onto you, and they kind of pointed you down this tunnel, and you get to the end of it, and all of a sudden there's a guy with a chainsaw, and he's like, "Vroom," and the
course
only
there
option
is.
you have is to turn around and run. That was the best thing about that haunted house.
Yeah. The one I went to in Lehigh had a couple chainsaws, and they chased me, and I was running, and
It's a lot funner if you play along.
it was more fun playing along. I can't say that I scared myself or whatever you just said a minute ago, but I can say that if you participate, it's more fun.
It is.
If you're like the cool guy, I know you can't actually touch me, then you're gonna have a lame time.
So let's bring out the crazy. I want to hear if you
We're
guys
already
really
here.
believe in ghosts.
Like Matthew's crazy, or like just do we believe in miracles?
Do we believe in
Where are you
ghosts?
from?
Like, do you ever feel like you're at home and you saw something like, whoa, what was that? Or you're someplace like at work or someplace else, and you feel like there's something there that kind of freaks you out, like something real, like you think there's a
yeah.
ghost or something.
I have felt that before. It's probably not a ghost. But
Is
You
it
know.
you just freaking yourself out? Or
yeah,
do you
totally
believe
me
there's something
freaking
there?
myself out most of the time. But the funny thing is that you watch when you're watching these scary movies, right? And this person hears a noise, and you're like, "Don't be dumb. Don't go investigate the noise. Nobody would be that stupid, right?"
But then you do
But yeah, if you hear a noise in your house, what's the first thing you do?
grab
You
my
go
shotgun.
and you go and try and
I
find out
also
what it
grab my
is.
firearm. Yeah.
What?
I also grab my firearm.
Really?
If I hear something that worries me enough to get out of bed, I grab my firearm. Yeah.
You don't just hear something like See, I just assume it's the cats.
Well, if it's then I know what that was.
Oh, that's you.
My dog makes distinct sounds. Like I can tell when it's my dog. I mean, I have hardwood floors all upstairs, and my dog makes that click, 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 click. And so, like, I know when my dog's making a noise. I generally know my kid's making a noise too, because it's a sprint to the bathroom, and they slam that toilet seat up. And so, but there's a couple of times where, like, I hear stuff outside, and I get concerned about it.
Do you? So sometimes I'll hear something get knocked over, and I just assume it's the cats, and I just go and try and find out, well, did they break anything? Did they spill anything? But yeah, I totally go and investigate. I would get so taken out by the bad guy in a horror movie because
no firearm.
I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't have a firearm either. So.
I'm not even kidding.
I don't even think about that. I just go check out and see if I can find what it is.
You don't even have a bat or a golf club or
Nope.
anything?
I'll just have to karate.
I go Rainbow Six down the hall, flashlight and my firearm, and I clear rooms, check
Yes.
corners. I'm not
You
even
like
kidding.
this.
Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
You don't turn on any lights?
Uh-uh.
So that's the first thing I do is I start turning on lights. And I've got
But
a
I
path.
don't want them to have an advantage.
I've got a path of lights. Well,
He doesn't want to see him coming. He wants to take him out.
I can hide behind the corner. Like, I'm not really scared. But I don't know.
Yeah, so back to your point. Do I believe in ghosts? Yes, I do. I believe in spirits and things of the supernatural nature.
But do you think
Like in a supernatural way, though.
are they here to harm you, or are they here to freak you out? Are they occupying your house because something bad has happened there?
Like Poltergeist. Poltergeist was a freaky movie when I was a kid, by the way.
I think it's still a freaky movie.
No, I rewatched it.
It's not bad.
We watched the old one before the new one came out. It's horrible.
Is it horrible now?
It is horrible.
It doesn't hold up well?
No.
I remember that thing freaked me out as a
I've
kid,
heard
man.
so
I
many
couldn't.
stories.
I did
yeah.
not like the TV to have the white noise pattern on it.
Oh, you
That
know,
freaked me out
It
as a kid.
destroyed clowns for everybody. Like, that was the worst clown movie freaky thing ever.
you know what movie scared me a bit?
What?
The Ring.
The Ring?
Yeah, that was a spooky one. Not
that
the Grudge.
creepy girl?
That wasn't that scary, but The Ring was pretty freaky. Oh, and I went to another haunted corn maze. Well, this one was a haunted corn maze in like the Bountiful area one year, and they had a TV with snow on it, and a little girl wearing a white dress and kind of like
Sitting in
doing
front
this
of it?
thing. That
Oh,
was
in the
that
back.
was creepy.
So that would be kind of
Yeah,
creepy.
that was creepy, but also fun. But back to your question, are they here to harm us and things? I think that they have limited abilities, and most of them aren't there to harm you.
Do you ever watch any of those ghost hunting shows?
Those are such bull. Just like
What?
the moon landing. This is the
No,
same
those
thing.
they're totally real, dude.
It's totally Hollywood.
No,
Photoshop,
100% real.
fake sets.
No,
I don't believe him either.
they totally
It's the same as the moon
totally
landing.
ghost. I've seen them. They like record stuff.
Yeah.
They have video evidence.
Uh-huh.
And that's why they're always on, like, primetime ABC, like, blockbuster type shows. I mean, I don't even know what channel you would find one of those shows on.
Do you know,
You don't
Scott?
watch any of the ghosts?
Scott,
No.
did you ever see the show Troll Hunters?
Troll Hunters?
Okay, you need to watch Troll Hunters, and then you tell me if you still believe these ghost hunter shows.
Is it like a documentary that's
It's-
debunks
It's like Blair
the
Witch.
debunkers?
No, it's a fun show, but it's like Blair Witch meets troll hunting, and it's actually a really fun movie, and you both should watch it. But
Sounds
The-
like we have another movie to watch for our
yeah,
review.
but the point of it is that you can do special effects, and you can make numbers show up on readers and stuff.
No, they don't do that. It's all real, dude.
Okay.
Okay, so here's a question. Matt posted another question. Have you seen the new It movie? Scary or more funny? He said he found it funny. I didn't see it.
I haven't. That actor is creepy. It's creepy.
I started watching it. I actually, because the movie came out, reread the book, which I had read as a kid. And
Stephen King.
what?
Yeah, Stephen King.
Stephen King. That's a big book, like giant. But anyway, so I reread the book, and I actually quite enjoyed the book. I didn't know how well it would hold up over the age, and I do have every intention of finishing the It movie when it comes out. I mean, when the new one, I'm waiting for the new one to come out, and I'm going to watch them back to back.
I saw the original It movie, and I thought it was good. I didn't like the ending, but the ending in the movie I thought kind of sucked. But I guess it was. I mean, I watched
With
that
Tim
as a
Curry.
kid, and it was kind of
Is that the one?
scary. I guess. I don't know.
The big clown,
Yeah, the freaky clown.
Pennywise.
I'm not a really big clown fan either.
You scared of clowns?
No, I'm really not scared
You're
of
not
clowns.
You're not
but
afraid of ghosts, but you're scared of clowns.
I'm afraid
and dolls.
of freaky clowns and dolls with freaky eyes.
Clowns are incredibly boring to me. I'm not interested.
Hey, so let me tell you guys a funny story, and maybe if Erica ever listens to this, she probably won't appreciate it. But when I go out of town and she's home by herself, she watches scary movies, and she freaks herself out. So when it's time to go to bed, she turns on the light of the room that she's in, and then she goes to the next room and turns on the light, and then she goes to the next room and turns on the light, and then she goes back to the original room and then turns off the light, and then goes and she makes a pattern all the way to where she's going, turning all the lights on, and then she backtracks and turns all the lights off until she's in the room with the lights, because she gets scared. Like, she gets freaked out with movies. And I'm like, why do you watch these when I'm not at home? And she's like, I don't know, but I always do. So it's every time I come back from a trip somewhere, it's like, what scary movie did you watch? And
It makes me feel closer to you, Destin.
and then she
Holly
freaks
won't
herself
watch
out.
scary movies in the dark, so we have to watch them like in the afternoon.
I don't think Elizabeth will watch scary movies, period.
My kids love scary movies. Like, my wife and my kids, they're all scary movie junkies. And I just, like, they like to watch them because it scares them. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
So Matthew says the new one is out. You're right. So the book, they broke it down into two parts, when they're kids and when they're adults. The adult one hasn't come out yet.
Oh, so there's two parts
There's
to the
two
new
movies, yeah.
Oh, so
The
you're waiting
movies
for
when
the
they're
second
kids
part.
is out, but they're shooting the adult one right now. I can't
The adult
remember.
version right now?
And is it still the one whole book?
Yeah.
So they've just broken the book into two
So
parts.
with the movies, in the book you go back and forth. So like they go little kids, adults, little kids, adults, little kids, adults, all throughout the whole thing. But in the movies, they actually broke it down to do the whole little kids part and then the whole adult part.
Oh, that's cool.
So hold on though. So they have the original movie that's already old and out.
It was
Then-
a miniseries.
Okay, they already
Yeah,
have
it
the
wasn't-
miniseries.
it wasn't
Then
a-
they have the one they just did, and that's of his youth. Then
That's what?
that's the youth one. Then
They broke the book and to make two movies out of the book.
I know, but I thought there were already two movies now. One with the new actor guy that's creepy face.
They did a reboot. So the
And
original one was a miniseries. They've rebooted.
And
This-
and so the reboot only has the younger.
No, it has two parts.
It'll have two. They haven't come out with the second part.
Right, but the first part's the younger part.
Yeah.
Okay.
You up to speed now?
So they
I mean, you guys aren't picking up what I'm putting down.
they fight it as children, and then they come back
As adults and
as adults and fight him again.
Hmm.
In the book. But in the book, they do that. So it's a chapter on the kids, what they're up to, and then a chapter on the adults, what they're, and they go back and forth. So at the end, you have the children fight and then the adult fight right next to each other. But in the movie, they took all the children chapters out and put them in one movie, and all the adult chapters and put them in the other movie that hasn't come out yet.
So do you think you're gonna like that?
I don't know. It is a fantastic book. I hope the movie does it justice. I've heard good things about it, so
I think I actually have a copy of the audiobook. Maybe I should put that on my listening
it's big.
schedule.
It's a big book.
I got a big phone.
There you go. Lots
That's
of
what
time.
she said.
It'll take a while to finish listening to it. So, but yeah, what's your favorite scary movie?
Well, I don't really watch a bunch. Like I said, Elizabeth doesn't really enjoy them, so I mean, I watched a bit of Walking Dead for a
Walking
while
Dead's
there.
not scary though, is it?
Not to me, but she won't watch it anyway because the zombies and stuff. So I don't get to watch a lot of them because she typically doesn't like them. Now, an exception was A Quiet Place, and I already know your opinion on that movie. But that movie did have a couple spots where they were scary. You know, they were just.
I haven't seen that. That's
full of
one I'm going to
suspense.
watch.
And
Yeah.
And so I liked it. I know we've talked about it off the cast.
We don't want
and-
to spoil it for anyone here.
Sure.
Because that's such a recent movie. So.
Sure. But
You
but
like
I-
that one, though?
I did enjoy it, and I also enjoyed Signs. And Signs is also has a similar elementariness to it.
Speaking of signs, The Sixth Sense kind of freaked me out once or twice, too, when you're watching that and the
Yeah.
ghosts go by or stuff.
Yeah.
That's-
That movie was well done. That's one
That
of
was
the
a
classics.
creepy movie.
I think I'm more freaked out by people than I am of ghosts. Like,
Yeah.
so
I agree.
like The Walking Dead. I don't think zombies are scary, but when they have to start dealing with
That's because you already have a plan of how to deal with them.
crazy people, like that's crazy. And what
Like
was
Hannibal?
the other? What was the one that was just recent? It was a M. Night Shyamalan movie too. The Visit.
Devil.
I haven't seen
Oh,
The
The
Visit.
Visit.
So I didn't like the movie, but the concept of those two crazy people, like, you know, that kind of freaks
I
me
haven't
out.
seen it, so I don't know
Crazy
what you're talking
people
about,
are
but
freaky.
I'm more scared of crazy people than I am of ghosts
Hmm.
or supernatural.
Because
or,
crazy people are out there. They're all over the place. They're real. They could actually take you down. But ghosts, not so much.
Well, I just don't
But
think
ghosts are real.
I just don't think we really have a lot of documented situations, or at least not that make the news or Twitter or whatever, where you were negatively affected by ghosts. Like maybe you heard something, but no ghost, came up and gave you the 5 fingers across the face kind of thing or whatever, And so people are a more present danger.
Well, I think there's a lot of stories or accountances of people being helped by something supernatural. Like I was trapped in my car, and then all of a sudden, in a flaming
Those are
building.
angels, dude.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Not
Like,
ghosts.
well,
What's the difference?
good spirit
Angels are
versus bad
good.
spirit.
Ghosts are bad.
Well, then
Casper wasn't bad.
what's a demon then?
I don't know. What
See,
is
now
a
that
demon?
that kind of stuff maybe kind of like is a little bit scary to me. Like thinking about somebody being possessed by a demon or something.
Do you think
like that would
someone
be
can
kinda
be
crazy.
possessed by a demon?
Yes, touched by an angel, bro.
I've never seen it. I've never heard an accountance of it, and so I don't know. But I guess in general, I think it's fiction right now.
Ethan's asked us another question. If
If
you
you
were
were-
home alone, would you rather hear footsteps or see a shadow?
This is a would you rather.
Yeah.
Would you rather?
What about you?
I would rather. I'm not sure. Probably hear footsteps.
Really?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm going shadow.
I'm going shadow too, because I can easily explain a shadow away as my imagination. But hearing footsteps, that would just be freaky.
Shadows are freaky.
Footsteps are freaky.
Okay. Either way, you have to rationalize away what you just saw or verify that you're going to be safe.
I think it would be much easier for me to rationalize seeing a shadow than it would be to if I heard actual footsteps.
I'm not changing mine.
You should, because you're wrong.
I'm not.
So Ethan changed it up, and he said human-shaped shadow.
Does that change your answer?
No.
It's human-shaped shadow, but it's elephant footsteps. Oh, I'm just kidding.
So Matt's saying that he's got stories of demons from Cambodia. So here's the thing. When it comes to this side of the conversation, this stuff's disgusting to me. So you have human sacrifices and weird rituals and stuff that humans are doing. And there are weird spiritual, weird feelings that you
Why are
get
they weird?
because they're not.
Obviously, if you're sacrificing humans, that's not good. But
Yeah.
if they're just, sitting around in a thing with candles or something, why is that weird?
Things have feelings, and when you're in a situation, you might feel a way. But I suspect with what he's talking about in Cambodia, there's like weird sacrificial stuff going on, and I don't know that crap. That has a feeling to it.
All I know about Cambodia and Matt is he got worms.
Gross.
And
He got possessed.
he got possessed by a tapeworm and some other kind of parasites.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
Demons.
he was possessed by a parasite demon and he got really sick and he had to come home, and I was bad for him. I'm sure he'll chime in
that's-
here on the chat.
That's the demons he got possessed by.
I've seen people get parasites in their feet in South America, and that just looks disgusting and painful and just miserable.
Yeah, that's
I could
gross.
be wrong on this, but I think Matt ate some stuff that he probably shouldn't have eaten, probably fed by some of the locals in Cambodia, and
They cursed him.
he got sick. He lost over 100 pounds with a tapeworm.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness!
Where can we get one?
I know.
I just need a
Pharmaceutical
tapeworm. I
grade.
just need tapeworm.
Pharmaceutical grade tapeworm.
I'm surprised that's not tried more often.
He
to
says
be
better.
perfectly honest.
Better than intermittent fasting.
Maybe better, but not as safe.
Oh yeah, that's right. He did get it from a dog, I think.
Oh,
He
dog
ate a
tastes
dog.
great. Gross. But I guess it's meat, so
Tastes
whatever.
like chicken
Yeah, I guess.
or pork.
Tastes like wolf.
Ethan, if you were home alone with all the lights off watching TV, would you rather poop your pants or have the light flicker and then back off and have the TV turn off for 10 seconds and turn back on?
I would just call that a power
I would
outage.
call that a power bump and be good.
I'd probably have negative things to say about my router or
Yeah, something like that.
I would be more freaked out if I was watching TV and then all of a sudden the volume went to full blast and was like a loud screech or like a
Dustin, you will die.
and then it goes back. Like I would be more freaked out about that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty freaky.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the old light flickering thing. I don't know why lights flickering get associated with extra spiritual events. No, I was about to say
Because that's what
terrestrial.
ghosts do.
but They do, huh?
So
because they manipulate on the electrical level?
Yep,
Does that mean they could kill you by electric
they
shock?
could if they wanted
I'm
to.
glad you're still here.
Ghosts like me because I believe in them.
Oh,
It's only if you're a non-believer do they do that.
well, they've never done it to me, and I don't believe.
Well, you're lucky so far.
I
Don't
think,
press your luck.
I think ghosts travel over Wi-Fi now. They don't
Can
even
they?
need electric. Yeah, that's how they travel around now.
So I watched a guy's
Ghost in the machine.
I watched a guy's video, and apparently LED lights emit such a clean light that you can shoot
See spirits.
shoot a special tool at it and hear everything that's being said. And so he's like, don't get LEDs so that the government won't be able to spy on you. So he was kind of, one of those fellows. But
Full on tinfoil hat guy.
yeah, but the point is like, if LEDs really do have those kind of capabilities, maybe spiritual ghost things can use them. I don't know.
Yeah. So, well, I think we're about at our time limit for this episode. It's been fun.
What the heck is coagulated pig blood?
It's pig's blood that's got all clumpy.
Yeah.
Sound yummy.
Yeah, you put it in a bowl and let it harden up, and
Eat it.
you make pudding out of it. Or
Sounds
something.
like Matt is like a Navy SEAL or something.
Yeah, he eats some crazy stuff. Either that or he's been on some wacky survival show. Anyway, so this episode we decided most definitely that ghosts exists, and then we all agree with that.
No,
not what we decided.
that's not what we decided.
I'm pretty
Nice-
sure that's exactly
nice
what
try.
we decided.
That's exactly what you decided.
Well, I'm the host, so that's what we decided.
Oh, that's
Together.
that's how this is gonna go.
So, yeah. But we thank you, everyone out there who participated with us. We really appreciate you guys listening. If you have any suggestions or if you thought this was cool, want to do it again, let us know. Do you have any final thoughts?
Don't get in a fight with a badger.
Dustin?
Oh, it's you next. We're going down the line.
Oh, we're going down the line. But I always have to sign off. I have to be the last.
Okay. Well, I didn't have anything, so
Oh, you It's hot out there. Stay indoors. The air sucks. And ghosts are real.
because of ghosts.
The end.
Ghost.
The end. Turn it
global
off.
Warming.
Cut.
Turn it off. Ghosts are real.
Thanks again for joining us on this week's podcast. You can find more episodes, show notes, and links at our website at www.regularguysrandomthings.com. You can also find us on all the social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you enjoyed this week's podcast, please like, comment, and subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. Once again, thanks for listening, and catch us next week for a brand new episode.